I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving coming up. So we have some things to prepare for as a congregation. So any of you who would be willing during the Advent season to be lighters and readers of the Advent wreath, which we'll have at that time, let myself or Michael know, and we will get your name down. We need lighters and readers for the next 4 Sundays, plus also Christmas Eve. And we also need lots of readers for the candlelight Christmas Eve service of carols and readings that we'll be doing then too. So get your reading skills up really well, and we'll invite you to participate in those ways. Do we have other announcements?
Let's remind everybody that after church today we have our Thanksgiving dinner, so be sure that you stop in and join us. It smells pretty good and the desserts look wonderful, so be sure that you stop in. Next Sunday we'll be decorating for Christmas. We'll be putting up the Christmas tree, putting up the giving tree, putting out the stuff for the Advent boxes, so we're not slowing down. We're just keeping right on at it, so hopefully you can help. After church today, or after dinner, they're going to move the Christmas tree in. So any of those of you that can help, it's more than a one-man job. And I guess maybe our Moving On box group put out a sample of what the Moving On boxes all contain. And if you haven't stopped and taken a look at that, you need to do that. That's what our congregation provides to the organizations that need them. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I want to welcome you to the First Congregational United Church of Christ Thanksgiving celebration. Today, we are giving thanks for so many things. First of all, I'd like to say the dinner that is provided today, Penny Fee brought the turkeys. Greg Gregerson and Darren Johnson prepared the turkey dinner, and the people of the church brought vegetables, salads, and desserts. I also want to say that today is a day of Thanksgiving because our missions committee will be giving out the donations to the organizations that are listed over here on the wall for our Thanksgiving to them. And I hope you all have a really, really good Thanksgiving Day. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. It is good to see you all here. Welcome to First Congregational United Church of Christ of Sioux City, Iowa, a community of faith where you matter. God has created you to matter, and we believe that you do matter. You matter no matter whether you are rich or poor, unknown or famous, sick or healthy, homeless, homebound, or having a home. You matter as a black or a brown person or a person whose skin color is neither of these, for differing pigmentation is the beauty and splendor of diversity. You matter as a transgender person, a female, a male, a non-binary person, or one whose gender identity is none of the above. Single, married, or neither of the two makes any difference here. You matter to God and you matter to us. You are a person of inestimable worth who we believe needs to be loved just as you need to love others. Welcome to this haven of hope where we always want you to know and to feel that you matter.
And would you join with me in the centering of our souls? God of wisdom and understanding, we are thankful for your presence in our lives as we seek to live lives of virtue and goodness in accordance with your will. Keep us far from jealousy and selfish ambition so that we may remain committed to equality and to the truth of living cooperatively and caringly. Inspire our minds to seek the wisdom from above rather than the wisdom of empires. Teach us that jealousy only occurs when we compete, and selfish ambition only arises when we want to be superior. Nurture us to be pure in seeking and sowing seeds for the good of all. Peace-loving, gentle, open to reason, and full of mercy, that we may be known by the fruits of kindness and compassion. Remove us from the grips of partiality and hypocrisy in our thoughts, words, and actions. We take your black hymnals and turn to page 422, please. Thank you.
Here we go. There we go. All right. We have a special day coming up this week. Does anybody know what that day is? Thanksgiving. That's right. And what do we celebrate at Thanksgiving?
We celebrate chicken.
Chicken?
And we get toasty.
And we get what?
And we get turkey.
Oh, turkey too. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. So Thanksgiving's a pretty yummy time, right? So we get really good things to eat. Does anything else happen other than the good food that we eat? Can you think of anything?
We could get a turkey.
You could get a turkey, that's right.
Yeah, but you have to trap it in the cake.
Does anyone visit or have other family members, like extended family, visit? Do you go anywhere, or does anyone come to your place? Yeah?
My mom goes to my grandma's place and my grandma's place, and my grandma goes to my mom's place.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And my grandma goes to my house.
Oh, that's fun. So that's the thing that I have always loved most about Thanksgiving, is that we get to go visit those that we care about and love. Now, there's many people that we care about and love, but usually Thanksgiving's for family and other really close friends. And so it's a really nice time. So one of the things, too, that we do at Thanksgiving is we try to think of things in which we're thankful for. So can you tell me some things that you're thankful for?
I'm thankful for my mom buying me a lot of chocolate and Kit Kat.
Oh, your mom buys you like glass of candy and such. That's something to be thankful for, right? Anybody else got anything to be thankful for?
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm thankful for my mom buying me more candy.
More candy. Okay, all right. So that's great. So anybody out there, anybody got anything that you're thankful for? Just shout it out.
Thankful for family.
For family. All right. Yeah, they beat my Badgers. Anybody else? Yeah.
I'm thankful my mom.
Loves you?
I'm thankful for my mom buying me $100,000,000 toys.
Oh, lots of toys and such. Oh, that's great. We're on a theme here. So there's so many things to be thankful for. And so when you have Thanksgiving on Thursday this week, try to remember to be thankful for all the things that you have that day, but also things in which you've had maybe throughout the year. So one of the things that when I was your age I was thankful is I was glad that I was able to go to school and learn things, and to also have some friends to do things with. So those might be things that we're thankful for. We could be thankful for our parents, or our siblings, or for our friends. We can be thankful that we have some just nice things in our life. So there's all these things to be thankful for. So I want us all to think about this week things that we can be thankful for, and maybe we can share with somebody else some of the things that we are thankful for. So I hope to say that to others. Yeah.
I'm thankful for my mom taking me to school.
You're thankful for your mom taking you to school. That's a good one. Wonderful. Well, thank you all for coming up here. I'll have a little prayer, and then you can go back to your classroom, okay? Dear God, we're thankful. We're thankful for all the blessings of life, and we're thankful for each other, and we're thankful for excitement and for Thanksgiving and for all the things in which we can do with loved ones this week. Keep all those who are traveling safe, and help us to be thankful and tell of our thanks to one another. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you all for coming up. You can go back to your classroom now. Oh, wait a minute. Come back. We've got one more thing. I just got we have a couple pails, and it looks like we can have one pail for 2 people, so you can hold those together. And if you can just go, we're going to collect offerings, calls our noisy offerings. So you've got coins. If you've got bills, that's fine too. But if you got coins, they'll rattle in the buckets. And does anybody have anything in which we could use for our noisy offering this month? Anyone got an idea? What's that? Moving on boxes. Okay, we'll collect for our moving on boxes. So if you can just make sure everybody gets an opportunity to put some money in. All right, it's called our noisy offering. This being our Mission Sunday, we are going to be later in the service giving some of our mission money to some of the organizations which are listed up on our banner over here. But on our Noisy Offering Sundays, which is always the last Sunday of the month, we collect for other things other than them, but still is a generous way to share of what we have with others. So we're thankful for the opportunity to share and to give, especially in this time of Thanksgiving. You guys are doing a great job there. Reminds me to turn my own phone off. So, all right, and just bring the pails back up here when you're done. All right, and you can just set them right up here on the table. Very good. All right, thank you so much.
I got a lot.
You did. Way to go. Give me 5. Give me 5, William. All right. Way to go. Okay, you can go back to your classroom now. There's nothing better than enthusiasm of children, is that right? It's just the greatest in the world. So we have our time for prayers at this time. Here at our church, we share not only our joys and our concerns, but also our instances of kindness or compassion that we've either witnessed others do, that we've participated in ourselves, or maybe that we've just heard about. So if you have any of those things, we have Ellen that will get a mic to you. Just raise your hand if you have any joy, concern, or act of compassion or kindness that you'd like to share.
I have a joy that we had a tree fall down the other day. I couldn't move it myself. I texted Dwayne and Todd, and by 5 or 6 o'clock, they had cut it apart, pulled it together, and thrown it away. And this was a massive project, and these two guys just did it. Boom.
Excellent. Thank you.
Is for some friends who are suffering, who are, because I'm old, I have a lot of friends that are going to nursing homes and things like that. And, it's such a change of life for a lot of people. And so I wish them well, and I'll be seeing you, I'm sure.
Others.
I'm Ty Quaid. I have prayers for my brother-in-law, who's 91, who's suffering in Dubuque, Iowa.
Okay.
Thank you.
Others? I'd remind you to keep all those who are going to be traveling, which will include me, during this holiday season, for safe travels. All right, and lastly, I just want to show you an act of kindness, if we can get it up on the screen here, of this happened on a subway. I believe it may have been in Boston. It looks like a Boston T car for my days there. But a man here is feeding a kitten on the subway. And so, we don't have to do big things to be kind and to be generous and to be compassionate towards each other or even other living beings. So I just share that bit of kindness. Let us be in silent meditation at this time. God of gentleness and compassion, who has placed your Spirit in every being throughout this earth, we are thankful for the way that you show up for us in so many ways, in our times of joy as well as in our times of sorrow, in our times of celebration as well as those in which we don't feel like celebrating anything at all. We're thankful for the coming holidays that are upon us, for Thanksgiving, for the season of Advent and Christmas that will follow. We ask that you warm our hearts and make tender our souls, that we may share love with all that we meet along life's way, that will be a blessing to those who are most in need. We're thankful for family and friends that we'll get to spend time with in this time, as well as those who may be complete strangers to us, but we invite into our lives. Help us, O God, to be your people, to be one with one another, siblings all around this good earth. All these things we pray. Amen.
And now the prayer as Jesus taught us. Compassionate God, sacred in your way, your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Provide us each day sustenance to live, and may we be forgiven, even as we forgive others. May we not be guided by temptations, but be delivered from evil. For blessed be your kingdom living through us, and your truth and your future alive in us always. May it be so. Would you turn in the black hymnal to page 419, verses 1 through 2, please?
have our missions representative to come forward and present donations to our local agencies.
Jan Nolan, and have been chairman of the missions committee for a couple of years, but I also have 4 other excellent ladies that help me. Peggy Hoffmeyer, Pam Ridgway, Kathy Flickinger, and Ann Shaner. If it wasn't for these gals, a lot of things that we get done wouldn't get done. And I also want to offer a special thank you to 3 of the guys that helped us out a lot during the rummage. They went and picked up things that people donated. They just were there every time we need them, and even after the rummage sale. You need something done, you call one of those 3 and they do it. And those 3 are John Kiernan, Dwayne Hoffmeyer, and Mike Timlin. And also a big thank you to the members of the congregation for their donations during the year. We couldn't do the rummage without everybody's help. This year we made over $6,000, so we were kind of proud of ourselves. The checks that we will be presenting today are a combination of a very generous donation from an anonymous donor, and from the rummage sale, and from the missions fund, which is largely supported by interest from the endowment fund. I'll call off the names of the organizations, and as if the representative is here, please come up and accept your check. Announce who you are and maybe just give us a couple minutes about what your organization does. Okay, Food Bank of Siouxland.
Again, my name is Jacob Wonderscheid. Jake, and I am the executive director of the Food Bank of Siouxland, a position that I've held since September of 2020. An interesting time to take over as a director of a nonprofit that is trying to lead a cause of food relief in Siouxland. We go up to Lyon County by the Minnesota border, down to Denison in Crawford County, and then we have 3 counties in Nebraska. We partner with the Food Bank for the Heartland in Omaha and the Food Bank of Iowa in Des Moines to make sure that our western side of the state of Iowa is taken care of. The fiscal year for the Food Bank ends in September, and through that period, so October of 2023 through this September, we distributed the most pounds that we've ever distributed before, just over 4 million pounds of product. Really highlighted that during 2023, we did see some slowing of need, but 2024 did see a increase of that visitation to pantries and food congregate meal sites. One of the biggest things that's leading that charge for us is our increased produce donations, and really that's where we're located. That can be a little bit tricky because a lot of our agricultural products are for food processing, so just really trying to grow that to make sure that we're delivering a nutritious and healthy product. Thank you again very much.
Thank you, Jake. And I should mention the checks this year are for $4,000. So I'm hoping that they'll come in very handy to the agencies that we give them to. And with the holidays right here, I know you've got extra expenses, so enjoy. Mary Trelia Community Center.
Ureli Flores with Mary Trelia Community Center. I've been with them for nearly a year, and let me tell you, I have never served as many people as I have working this job, and I love it. So we offer a range of services there. We have our interpretation, translation services. We have our legal immigration services. We have a preschool there, and then we also have a refugee resettlement department. And so We've been serving the community for over 100 years. I'm proud to be a part of Mary J. Trelia Community House. We also offer English classes there and citizenship classes there. Everything that we do is to help better our community, and I am really thankful to be here partaking in this wonderful, beautiful service. Thank you for inviting us.
Siouxland Foster Closet.
Hello, I'm Rochelle Pfeiffer, the director of the Siouxland Foster Closet. First, I just want to say thank you so much for the continued support of your church to the Foster Closet. It's just really been a huge blessing, and I know this will be a huge blessing. The Siouxland Foster Closet provides clothing and necessities to kids in foster care and relative placement. That's kind of the basics, but really our ultimate goal is to show them that they are seen, loved by God, and worthy of being loved through our services. So we do personal shopping appointments. We help them find things they need. We give them the best. We take donations, but we go through it and we stock the very best clothes so they get really nice stuff. Reduce a little bit of the stress and trauma of moving through homes in the foster care system. We love loving on these kids. And thank you so much.
Siouxland Soup Kitchen.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm from the Siouxland Soup Kitchen, and our organization offers a hot meal Monday through Friday. We take pride in a home-cooked meal. It's not your frozen dinner or anything. There's 2 of us there that cook, and we feed anywhere from 140 to 180 people a night. We don't ask any questions, so we're seeing more families, children. It's not just your homeless people, but we do welcome them also. And I want to say thank you to Miss Jan and the Missions Committee and the congregation for your continued support. It's always nice to get a call from Miss Jan and be welcomed at the service. So thank you so much. We appreciate your support.
Women Aware.
Good morning. My name is Carter Smith. I'm the Executive Director for Women Aware. On the behalf of myself and our Board of Directors and our clients that we serve, I just want to say thank you to Jan and everyone here at the congregation. It is a very much needed and very appreciated gift. I will tell you that when Jan called, it was a very welcome call to receive. But I've been meaning to send her a thank you because she's quietly been sending us notices of things to put on our publication board of activities up here at the church so that our clients can see that. And it's always appreciated to know that we're remembered. Women Aware serves a diverse population. We serve men, women, and families, and you don't have any barriers to gain access to services. So we serve everyone. You could live out in the dunes, or you could live down on 4th Street homeless, and you can still get services through our office. We do a lot of resource coordination and referrals and dynamic and complex problem solving with our clients, working with them on an action plan to help them get out of the situations that they may find themselves in that create difficulties in their lives. So for example, this last week, it's helping a single mom get housed, helping someone figure out how to pay for their child care, prepping them for a job interview, going through our closet to get them interview clothes and then also clothes for court. And so if you call our office, you'll probably talk to me, or you might talk to one of our board members if they're in volunteering for the day. So just know that it goes a long way and it's very appreciated. So thank you.
The Sanford Center.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Fitz Grant, Executive Director for the Sanford Center. We've been in business since 1933. We're a community settlement house located here on the west side. I've been with the agency for now 32 years. My heart is filled with joy here this morning. First Congregational has been a strong supporter of our agency. And I was trying to figure this out. I don't know if it's between 17, 18 years. And I can remember the first time I came here to the church and gave a presentation to some of the members in regards to some of the things that we do in the community. And soon after that, I met a guy by the name of Dick Owens. And the first thing that the church did was they helped us to raise money for our basketball team. And we washed cars for years. After that, then you guys came in and you decided that you wanted to help us paint our facilities, which was a great thing because our agency was in bad shape and it needed some painting. And soon after that, you came in and you provided Vacation Bible School to some of our kids in our summer program. I am so thankful to you guys. You just don't even know how much you mean to me. When I became the executive director some 7 years ago, it was members from this congregation that championed the cause of the Sanford Center. When people wanted to stop us from having our program, it was your membership, particularly Dr. Owens, that stood up and spoke on behalf of our agency. So today my heart is filled with joy. I'm a little bit emotional because you guys have been so good to us at our agency. And we love you guys, and I thank you guys for loving us with no strings attached. You never came into our agency and looked at us down. You always uplifted us, and I'm so thankful for that. Some of the programs that we have at our agency is our before and after school programs. We want to make sure that we provide some child care needs to some of the families here in this community that need help in terms of child care. We have a summer program where we allow young people in this community, elementary age kids, to explore Siouxland. You know, a lot of kids don't get to see Siouxland. I work with kids that don't even get a chance to go over to the east side. So we make it a point to allow these kids to see Siouxland. Another program that we do have is our ACT prep program. We partner with New Arising Tutoring Services where we make it affordable for middle school and high school kids to come and take this ACT prep class where they can get ready for college. We just added a new program, a life coaching class, where we work with kids in the context of HIV, AIDS, STD, and unwanted teen pregnancy prevention. And then our signature program is our frontline mental health intervention program, where we work within the school systems and we help kids with some of the social issues. What we try to do is give them strategies to be able to make it throughout their day, just through that day. And because of First Congregational, we're becoming that trusted individuals in the lives of these kids. We can't do this alone. We need the support, the financial support, but also we need your prayers to help us keep doing what we're doing in this community. So again, thank you and happy Thanksgiving.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
My name is Lincoln. This is Dave. We're a couple of the co-leads with the Sleep in Heavenly Peace here in Sioux City. If you guys don't know, we make beds for the kids and deliver and put them together. And it's a full bed, the mattress, and the bedding. The church has been great, letting us quite a while now upstairs. We keep all the bedding, getting mattresses and pillows for them. We started out just in Sioux City. Next month will be 3 years. The chapter's been here. We just did 2,000 beds delivered. We have plenty more built down in the warehouse. We now go about a 40, 50-mile radius from Sioux City, and we have delivery hubs, and the community has been great. The church has been a big piece of that, and the kids really appreciate it when people go on deliveries to, you know, a lot of them have never had a bed, I think. You know, you're talking teenagers been sleeping on the floor or couch or, you know, so it's been really great, and we appreciate everything the church has done, and this helps. And That's a lot more beds. It's about 250 per bed for the mattresses and beddings and all that. So this does a good number of beds, and we're all volunteers, and it goes all right back to the kids. So we really appreciate it and look forward to continuing to work with you guys. Thank you.
The warming shelter. Anybody here from there? No. And then Safe Place.
Good morning. This is such a blessing. I'm Stephanie Pickenpaugh, the Executive Director at Safe Place, formerly CSADV. We can't thank you guys enough for everything that you do. It was a joy to hear that the noisy donations, the offering was going to the Moving On boxes. It's such a huge piece in our world to help individuals who are experiencing any sort of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking, that we shelter, that when they're moving on to their new homes, that we have the Moving On boxes and the new life that your donations allow us to give. So thank you so much.
Thank you to all of the representatives that were here today. Be sure you stay and have Thanksgiving dinner with us. And if you haven't already, maybe I mentioned this before, looked at the Moving On box display, you need to do that. That's all donations from our congregation. And it helps people, and that's what we're here to do. So thank you all very much.
Thank you to all of you who are representatives of these organizations, but thank you for your organizations. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to collaborate with you in helping out this wider community. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for doing all you can to stay afloat and to reach out and be of service to our wider community. The scripture lesson today is an appropriate one, for it comes from James, who talks about service and the way that we put our faith into practice. Hear these words from the letter of James, chapter 3, verses 13 through 18. Who is wise and understanding among you? Show by your good behavior that your deeds are done with gentleness, born of wisdom. But if you harbor bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not be arrogant and lie about the truth. That is not wisdom that comes from above, but is soiled, unspiritual, devilish. For where there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there will come disorder and wickedness of every kind. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peace-loving, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and kindly deeds that are its fruits, without a trace of partiality or hypocrisy. The harvest of justice is reaped by peacemakers who have sown seeds of righteousness in a spirit of peace. May God add God's blessing to our understanding of these words for us. Unfortunately, our wider culture does not honor wisdom. We have become an anti-intellectual culture that defunds schools and which celebrates sound bites rather than deep and considered thought. I learned this past week that 54% of adults in our country read at a 6th grade level or below, which places us 36th worldwide in literacy. And yet, despite that inadequacy, we retain an arrogance about how knowledgeable we are, even when we are often in denial about the facts. We are a culture where armchair persons decide they know more about an issue than those who have spent decades studying a subject matter. It is sad, and I, for one, am doing all I can to reverse the trend one person at a time. Wisdom, though, matters. A wise society is less prone to make mistakes that will adversely affect the entire nation or even the world. A wise society is one that understands the relationship between goodness and knowledge, between virtue and justice, between compassion and peace. A wise society is less likely to be duped and manipulated by those who lie and cheat and deceive. And a wise society is less likely to develop prejudices and hatreds that divide them against one another and that allows atrocities to occur to those seen as different than themselves. When we have threats as we have now, the largest American deportation in history, we need to be wise enough to figure what is really going on and how adversely that would affect all of us, except the very richest among us. A wise society will ask, who benefits by these policies that affects millions of us? A wise society is one where people recognize how we behave is more important than what we claim we believe. We have millions of people in our culture, however, that believe the opposite. But in the ancient Greco-Roman Hebrew world, wisdom was highly esteemed. Making oneself well-versed in all branches of knowledge was deemed an honorable endeavor. Yet despite their valuing wisdom highly and we valuing it as almost insignificant, there's one thing that is similar between our cultures then and now. Too many people have counted as having right beliefs as more important than good behavior, of having a virtuous character. In our text today, James, perhaps the brother of Jesus, repeats Jesus' own emphasis on how important it is for us to do good deeds and act in accordance with virtuous behavior if we want to be the sort of people who were connected to that which is sacred. James, like Jesus, understood that one cannot be wise unless one actually behaves in a wise way. And of course, they knew virtue and wisdom go hand in hand. Indeed, the Greek philosophers believed that to know the good was to do the good, and that one couldn't do the good without fully knowing it. James points out that gentleness, of all the things he would say, gentleness is one of the markers of those who are wise. Instead of trying to coerce, manipulate, frighten, or threaten someone to get them to behave in a particular way, it is best to use gentle techniques. I ask you, are you more likely to respond positively to one who treats you with disrespect, or one who treats you with the gentleness of respect and loving kindness? I will certainly respond better to the latter than the former. Wisdom teaches us that there is never a reason for us to be jealous of others. We all have our own gifts, and we can respect the gifts of others as well as our own. And we can see that we can, with these gifts, mutually help each other out. Wise people seek to cooperate and collaborate with others and seek the good of the whole community rather than just oneself. Wise people do not act out of selfish ambitions, for it turns people against one another and creates a competitive culture rather than a caring one. If you want to have peace in this world, wise people know that you need to make sure everyone has enough and that no one is barely getting by. When people are struggling to live, they lash out, commit crimes, seek their own good. When all people, though, are flourishing, then people can feel more safe, secure, free, and living in a community where no one is trying to lie or cheat or steal from one another, for they all have enough. It should come as no surprise that the countries which offer free education, free health care, and even free housing are those countries that are considered to be the happiest in the world. And on that scale, we don't even get in the top 20. Scandinavia, though, all of them are in the top 5. James describes the sort of virtues that wise people nurture in themselves and others. They are seen to be pure, then peace-loving, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and kindly deeds that are its fruits, without a trace of partiality or hypocrisy. Are those attributes we strive to have in our own lives? Are those the character traits that are evidenced by the people that you most revere? I hope so. For those are the ways that we all can create a better world. If we plant the seeds of pureness of heart, which means that we look out for others as much as we look out for ourselves, then wouldn't this take a lot of stress out of our lives? If we were intent on being peace-loving in all of our thoughts, words, and practices, how do you think that would affect those with whom we interact day by day? If whenever we recognize that we were being a little snippety, cantankerous, or judgmental, how would it change our attitude and others' responses to us if we took a moment to pause before speaking or acting and consciously decided to act with more gentleness? And what if we were all open to reason, where we could talk about any topic, no matter how emotion-laden it may be, because we all have the same goal to learn together, rather than to prove that we are right and others are wrong. Imagine if we were all open to reason such that we didn't care about who was right and wrong, but that we both came together to discover new insights by simply letting reason have its way with our hearts. And what about full of mercy, as James also talks about? Do you want your loved ones to be full of mercy or full of criticism and judgment? If you prefer people to be merciful to you, don't you think they would prefer you to be merciful to them? And what if we all went around doing kindly deeds with no partiality whatsoever? What kind of world would that be? Anyone have a dog? Imagine we all acted like dogs rather than people. Like those who came wagging their tails, no matter whether it was a stranger or a loved one, an immigrant or a citizen, it made no difference whatsoever. We're ready to make a new friend. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world? James tells us that the harvest of justice is reaped by peacemakers who have sown seeds of righteousness and a spirit of peace. Wouldn't it be wonderful if all the good deeds we planted as seeds to all whom we know would reap a harvest of justice? Wouldn't it be lovely if everyone became a peacemaker who sowed seeds of compassion and righteousness, and that we all reaped a spirit of peace and happiness? You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope we will all join each other in being wise and virtuous, and the world may live as one. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your loved ones and the strangers that none of us know. And blessings in the upcoming seasons of Advent and Christmastide and those other holy days of other traditions. This is a special time of year which we need to remember gratitude, but also generosity. So go forth. Pursue wisdom and do random acts of kindness and intentional deeds of compassion. No matter where you are or what you are doing, speak up and work for justice for all the people of this land and of every land. It is how we will cultivate and then harvest a character of goodness. Blessings may we be. Join with me, if you will, in singing the hymn as printed in your bulletin, Hymn for Living with Thanksgiving.
Time for our tithes and offerings. Generosity arises from gratitude, like heat arises from fire. Like fire, gratitude is lovely to see. But when it warms others with generosity, that is when it becomes a true blessing. We invite you to place your offering in the offering plate as it is passed, or you may give online or by mail if you are joining us virtually. Thank you. Michael has special music. Thank you, choir. Now the unison prayer of dedication. Spirit of boldness and generosity, you entice us to expand our minds, open our hearts, and wrap within your arms those whom is easier to exclude from our compassion. You provoke us to unhealthy and weak, recognizing our own abundance. We give of what has been given to us. We seek to share out our soul's desire to be a blessing to those who would be stunned to receive. Let these gifts nourish the hope and the faith of those who need to feed, love, and appreciate. And may our own act of giving feed our satisfaction in living as you have called us to do. In the Spirit of Christ we pray. May it be so.
The reverse prayer of St. Francis is what we did last Sunday. We've got a new one today, which is as in your bulletin. So hear this encouragement for your own spiritual journey. Go to be a blessing. This is your calling. Do not worry whether your task is difficult or your efforts are successful. Life is serendipitous. So what you think will or has failed may actually renew a life. Advocate for justice for those unlike you. Work for peace with those opposed to you. Kindness offered and love delivered can transform relationships. Trust in this. Live by this. Let God be responsible for the outcome. Just commit yourself to the journey of sacred living. If you do, you will find that you will have not only been a blessing to others, but that the synergy of life will have created a blessing for you. And now I offer a blessing of thanksgiving for our meal that we are about to partake. So before we sing together, "Let there be peace on earth," let us share in this blessing. We are grateful for the joy of fellowship and food. And when these are shared with friends and strangers, as we gather to commune and dine with one another, incline our hearts towards loving kindness, good conversation, and thankfulness for the nourishment of food and the nurturance of souls. We pray for those who do not have enough of these things. Inspire us in our time together to reach beyond those in front of us and beside us, to those who are most in need. Teach us to be generous and giving and hospitable to all whom we meet along life's way. And bless those traveling the highways and byways as during this season of holidays. Bless, O God, the food we are about to partake, that it may strengthen us to be givers of grace and extenders of thanksgiving. May it be so. Join with me in singing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth."